Hey everybody, it's the Wichitin here. I'm sitting here today. I decided to make this little video of clips of. I don't usually do political things because I try to stay away from it. Full disclosure, I'm a Democrat. Was raised Democrat. The only Republican president I ever voted for was Bush on his second term, not his first, but I did vote for him during his second term because it was after 9/11. I was in the military and I just felt a change in leadership wasn't appropriate at that time. But I did vote for Obama both times. I did, however, vote for Trump this time, and it's just the way we grew up in the 80s and the way things are now are completely different. It just seems to me, to take a phrase from Juan Williams, it seems to me that the Democratic Party of the old is the Republican Party of the new. The Democratic Party, no longer is there an emphasis on freedom of speech. No longer is there an emphasis on tolerance for all. It's just they are consumed with, not they, the political leadership is just so consumed with an anti-Trump agenda that they've thrown all the values that we have held dear out the window. I mean, everything I grew up with, everything that we have held in value is just right out the window. And likewise with the Republican Party. The Republican Party of old is not the Republican Party of new. It seems like they've switched. When I grew up, it was the Republican Party was, it's either our way or the highway. You're either with us or you're not. And it was the Democrats who, just live and let live. We can all coexist. You can believe what you believe. I can believe what I believe, and we can all just get along. And it's switched. It's now you're. I don't know how to explain it, and I could be off from one topic to the next, but as a whole, I'm just saying, as a whole, I find myself more aligning with the new Republican Party. Although they are still fractured, you have your Tea Party, your Freedom Caucus, but as a whole, it's just where I see myself aligning these days. So I'm not saying I'm going to change my registration, but but anyways, I'm sitting here not. I do a lot of producing for my wife's YouTube channel, and a lot of my friends and peers and coworkers know this, and they have told me that because they see all the hypocrisy in the news, and they said you should produce a video showing a lot of the hypocrisy that you see today on television. Going back to my friend or someone who I like to watch, going back to NPR days, I like Juan Williams. A lot of the times you see him refer to President Trump as always citing the media as the enemy of the people, and he's never said that. He's always said fake news is the enemy of the people. But yet he gets on television and spouts that almost daily on the 5. And But so I've just kind of clipped together some stuff. I'm sure there'll be critics. I'm sure I didn't capture everything, but that's not the point of the video I'm trying to make. The point of the video I'm trying to make is how the party has shifted from what they used to believe in to what they're saying now. And I'm sure the Republican Party, you can make a similar video, how they used to believe in hardcore conservatism, my way or the highway, to how they've laxed over the years. And that's further just proves my beliefs, how the parties have shifted. But I feel that the Republican Party of old is no longer. The Democratic Party of old is no longer. And how things have changed over the years. But anyways, watch the video. Like I said, I'm sure there'll be critics, and it is what it is in this environment these days. But I'm just simply trying to point out how what I grew up believing in, the Democratic Party no longer advertises. So that's the point. And I find myself in a predicament and kind of in a no man's land, or how I feel about it. So go ahead and watch it. Leave your comments. That's fine. If you're finding yourself not liking it, do what we would say in the 80s and 90s. If you don't like it, don't watch. You don't have to leave hate comments. Just, if you don't like it, change the channel. So, all right, thanks. Bye.
I am your voice.
Are you being irresponsible, and are you in fact scapegoating immigrants for your state's other problems?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, my mother was an immigrant to this nation and a naturalized citizen later in her life. No, I think the fabric of this nation is one of a newcomer nation. Having said that, and one of the problems is, and Mr. Ratner just got into that kind of name-calling debate, which polarizes the issue, and so you can't come together. You've got essentially 7 states that are mainly affected by illegal immigrants and immigration in this country. If the 7 states could sit down and work out a policy of how to handle this, we could do some practical legislation that would make sense. But when you get into that kind of incendiary rhetoric that he is now practicing, it presents a very real problem, because anytime you try to do anything except say it's all lovely, you're un-American or you're scapegoating. And it is my belief that the way you protect the front door of legal immigration is to close the back door of illegal immigrants, which you can't control and you can't well provide for.
Well,
illegal aliens should not be treated the same as people who entered the U.S. legally.
I think we can enforce our borders. I think we should enforce our borders. To have a situation where 40% of the babies born on Medicaid in California today are born of illegal immigrants creates a very real problem for the state. We have 17% of our prison population at a cost of $300 million a year be illegal immigrants who come here and commit felonies.
We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked.
The number of new illegal immigrant families who have crossed the border so far this year already exceeds the entire total from 2015.
Not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens.
I voted numerous times when I was a senator to spend money to build a a barrier to try to prevent illegal immigrants from coming in.
We have to be mature and grow up and recognize that we need to reevaluate where we're going in our immigration.
This is what the border looked like in cities like Yuma and San Diego before offense. Yet today, thousands of illegal immigrants still get over, under, and through areas where there is no barrier, which is why President Trump today said he would erect a wall, not unlike this one in Israel. But the overwhelming problem today isn't Mexicans coming to the U.S. for work, but Central Americans seeking asylum.
The law says that people should be detained if they don't have a visa and are seeking asylum.
Yet under President Obama, most were released, pending a court date.
I think that's the kind of government that's very upsetting to people. There are certain basic rights. We should keep those rights. But if we don't control the flood of illegal immigrants into this country, we will have, I believe, such a backlash, such a backlash, such a backlash, backlash.
I'm using my own money. I'm not using the lobbyists. I'm not using donors. I don't care. I'm really rich. I'll show you that in a second.
I want to congratulate Donald Trump on winning the nomination last night.
We will make America great again.
We will elect Donald Trump to be the 45th president of the United States of America.
You know, all of these politicians that I'm running against, how are these people going to lead us? How are we going to go back and make it great again? We can't. They don't have a clue. They can't lead us. We will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much. The president of Mexico said they will not, under any circumstances, pay for the wall. What is your comment? I said, the wall just got 10 feet higher. It's true. It's true. We are so tired of being pushed around by these other countries like we're a bunch of dummies. Not going to happen anymore, okay? Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Democrats have become the party of open borders, crime, and abolishing our brave men and women of ICE and other law enforcement agencies. Liberals care more about illegal immigrants than they do about our own citizens. It's time to put America first. Tell Democrats to stop obstructing the agenda that you, the American people, voted for, and to finish building the wall, funding the wall, getting it done, and also, just to put it in a larger context, we need border security. We want people to come into our country, but we want them to come in based on merit and nothing else.